Today I posted a short about self-awareness, and it looked like this. It was like what it is, how to achieve it, what will be the results, and I would like to talk more about it. And I think in blocks, so I have a notebook with blocks on my thoughts. Like I literally take an idea and just break it down in lists. Like if you see my notes, you can see how me working on notes is always like something like I don't know, like it needs to be a list, it needs to be graphic, it needs to be highlighted and all that, and it needs to go in all directions that I can think of. So why do I use this system? I use this system because it's really, really easy for me to achieve my goals. You see, when you have a goal, it's too complex. It's too complex for us to actually achieve it. And you're like, oh my God, to do this and this and this and this, it's like overwhelms you. And actually you need time from this activity, from that, or maybe you need to do so many things at the same time to restrict it. So what I do, I put myself a goal, I write it down, and then I write the steps for it, and I write the benefits, and I write the result I want. And every day, or as long as I need it, I just pick up one of the sticky notes I have in my notebook and I work on it. I just work on one step. Once I'm done with that, I put it back and I pick up my next steps. And once I go through all the steps, I start to reflect on how it's helping me. And when I do that, for example, if something didn't work out the way I planned, or it's not working for me quite in the way I thought it will, then I start to think about that specific thing. What exactly didn't go right, or what was I doing wrong? And then I start to work on that. I develop another plan on how to work on that, and that way it helps me to be more productive, because when you take a task, your brain wants to do something easy, something that it knows how to do, something that's used to. And when you give it like a new idea, full idea, it's like bombarded, and it's like getting into this anxiety, this like I cannot do it, why would I do it, like it doesn't want to go in something that's unknown. It's not comfortable. So many people, for example, say they want to go to a gym on the 1st of January or June. So they say they want to go on that and do that, but they don't realize that to go to the gym and get that body you want, or those abs, or maybe feel better, you have to do many changes prior to that. Like you have to change your schedule, you have to get in the habit to wake up earlier, maybe if you go before, or you have to manage your things in a way that you can go to a gym after work, and then you have to manage how you eat, how you approach anything, like sugar, like what's important, do you need protein, do you need that? People don't realize that. They just put a thing on their calendar that I'm going to a gym. So they go for a week, they get tired, and they're like, oh no, I'm gonna go to my donut and TV watching. So that's what is important. It's important to break your goal into steps and work one step at a time until you can manage it. And I promise you, it's going to be slower, and maybe not of the results you want right away, but it's going to build your character, it's going to build your habit, and you're going to get there just because you build these blocks. It's like, if you want to go, for example, to the second level of a house, you're not gonna just fly there, you cannot just jump there, you're gonna take one step at a time until you reach the second floor. This is how it works with habits. In order for you to create a new habit or a new idea, or to go somewhere where you want to be like a better you, or even like building something or working on a plan, you need to have the steps. Once you start to achieve these steps, it's going to be easier for you to jump on the last bubble, like on the last step, and work on that. So this is what I'm doing with my notebook. I'm actually working on things I want to develop in myself, and then I write it down. And I'm just putting this online because I feel like if one person wants it, like if I want to develop it, maybe it can help someone else. And that helps me too, because when I go online, like that's the way I think. When I go online on YouTube and I want to develop something, I actually look at what other people say. So what is self-awareness? Well, self-awareness is something that will help you improve your life. It's something that really gives you this desire to do better, and it's knowing yourself. So when you're self-aware, you know yourself, you know your thoughts, you know your feelings, emotions, and when you practice self-awareness, when you take time to do that, what is going to happen on my first note says is ability to recognize and understand your own feelings, actions, and thoughts. And you might think like, oh, I know what I'm doing and I'm like very good at it. Yes, but why did you do that? There are always some type of actions, or maybe something we say or something we feel that we don't know why we did it, or we have to apologize for it, or we feel bad that we did that way. So when you actually take the time to think and recognize your own feelings, your own thoughts, your own actions, you can see where you're coming from, why you're coming from there, and is that the best way to go. The other part of it is like you're gonna be positive, more positive about yourself. You're gonna have a positive perception about yourself, and that's gonna be a desire to do better, because you're gonna know how you feel, how you think, and you'll understand your actions, and you'll want to do better. You'll know, you'll have a ground to work on how to do better. And that it's like, when you want to cook, your food is not gonna just appear magically once you order it. But if you want to cook it from scratch, you have to do step by step everything until you have at the end this good, delicious meal. Same is with your self. When you work on yourself, it's like steps by steps, little steps by steps that will create in the end this nice, better version of yourself. And then what does it lead to when you have self-awareness? What does it lead to? It leads to having better decisions, you're making better decisions, and also you have a personal growth, because you now know what is the reason I acted like that. Do I need to act like that? Why not? Why yes? And then you just stick to that, and you're confident that what you're doing is actually very authentic to your personality. And what does that create? When you do all that, when you do all this thinking, when you act in a way you think is best based on some own reflections, you gain confidence. You're gonna be like more confident in what you're doing. So how do we develop? Sorry, my sticky notes are sticking to myself. How do we develop self-awareness? Well, as I said just a couple of minutes ago, first you're gonna do some self-reflection, and to do that you need time for that. You actually need time to sit down with yourself and be honest to yourself. Do I like how I talk? Do I like how I see people? Do I like how I interact with people? Do I like that I'm cleaning or not cleaning? Do I like that I go to school, not go to school? Do I like my job? You think about your actions. Was it a good idea that I bought those shoes, or I bought that book? Well, books are always good ideas, but I'm just saying. Why do I think like that? Why do I think that I'm a loser? Or why do I think that I'm not good enough? Why do I think that other people are successful and I cannot be it? So when you set time aside to self-reflect on yourself, then you can actually see where are your shortcomings. And for that, when you do this type of work I suggest for you to actually take a notebook. Just get yourself a notebook, and I'll give you a suggestion that many people might not think of. Many people might think that, a paper and a pen is enough, or maybe your phone. But I found that when I have a notebook that I actually like, that it's appealing to me, it's more often for me to use it, and actually I enjoy reading my notes and see how I thought, for example, last year, or what I think this year, or what were my worries last year this day, and what are my worries right now, how much I progressed from certain thoughts or certain life experiences, or how was my job last year, how is it right now. So when you self-reflect on yourself, you can see how you progress, you can see what's your progression, or you can see how you downgraded. And both ways are good to see, because when you see how you progressed, you get this feeling that you're doing something good and you want to progress more. When you see how you downgraded, you start to think, what should I do? Where did I go wrong? And you work on that. So the next point would be to develop self-awareness. How do you do that? So one of the things is self-reflection. And when we do a self-reflection, it's like we're setting time aside to actually think of what we did, our actions, our thoughts, our emotions, feelings, and why we act like that. It's like helping yourself to understand yourself better. What did brought you to this stage? What was that made you maybe scream, or maybe do something you didn't really want it to do? That time when you think about what happened, what you're doing, is going to help you to avoid and become better in the future. The other thing is to assess your values and beliefs, and there can be situations where you believe and you value one thing, but you have to do something else because your friends were too many and they just made you do that, or you were afraid to express yourself, or you had to go with the flow. But knowing what are your values and what are your beliefs will help you to be authentic. People will respect you for that. Now, I'm not saying that if you are at work and everyone is supposed to stick to a schedule, you go and say, no, I value my sleep, so I'll come late and everyone has to go around you. What I'm saying is that when someone, for example, wants to eat cake but you're on a diet, if you are actually, you know, your values and you know your beliefs, they will respect you if you say, oh, okay, I'll have to pass. They're not going to be like, come on, eat just a small bite. It's not going to happen. They will respect you for that. So knowing your own beliefs and your own values will help you to be more authentic and more confident. The next one will be learn from your mistakes. So while people think that they should be always praised and always others should say to them, oh my God, you're the best, you cannot fail, it's actually a very bad thing for you. What's good for you is actually to learn from your mistakes. When you make mistakes, it's actually a chance for you to grow, a chance for you to become better, a chance for you to see where you failed and what not to apply next time. So for example, if you make mistakes and you fail and nobody's actually telling you and you're not willing to learn from them, then you're gonna make the same mistake all the time. It's like gonna be like a teenager where I was often thinking, you know, when a kid grows, like when it's a small child, if you tell them don't do that because you're gonna get hurt, don't do that because you're gonna get hurt, they don't do it. But when you say to a teenager something like, I'd like you to spend less time playing a game and maybe more reading or doing something that will help you grow, they don't do that. They think that playing the game is better. Or for example, if you tell them don't talk back when you know you did something wrong, they still talk to you back and then they get punished. And why is that? That's because they don't learn from their mistakes. So we don't want to be like teenagers. Although it's interesting and the hormones go high and you have fun and you play and all that, you want to learn from your mistakes. Your mistakes will be the next step for better you. The next one will be to seek feedback. And you have to seek feedback from someone you feel comfortable with, from family, from friends, from co-workers, and you just, kind of approach them and say, hey, I'd like to improve my personality. What would be one thing you suggest for me to do? And they will give you a suggestion, and you might want to throw in there, I'm not going to be upset, nothing, no grudges, nothing, I just want to be better. And they honestly will tell you, take those notes, think of that, and try to see how that would help you in life. How is that better for you? Then to do all of this, you actually have to center yourself. You have to go for mindfulness and meditation. And when you try to concentrate on your breathing, it's going to help you to be present right now in your feelings and your emotions. When you're present, it's easier for you to work on yourself. For example, you can turn off your phone, you can turn off everything, find a quiet space, you can add some pleasant music, maybe a cup of tea, I don't know. You just sit there and you concentrate and you just think. You just think. It doesn't have to be a long time of thinking, but I'll tell you, with practice, it will take a long time. Like, I recently had my schedule at my job changed, and I felt not very good about it because I thought that, I'm starting 1 hour later, I'll come home 1 hour later, that's like messing up everything I'm used to. But in the end, it worked out very well because now I have that extra hour actually to work on myself, so I can give time to myself to journal, to write my feelings, to think of situations, what happened, why it happened, maybe to look for some interesting, just random things that I like finding that there is a neutral star, which I didn't know. And you from there you go to something else, and you develop yourself, you invest the time in yourself. So when you are present and you're mindful, you actually are seeking that time. You want that time to be better. When you get in a habit, it's like a very good habit. And last but not least is to listen to criticism. Nobody likes that. I don't like it either. Well, I like it more now than I did, let's say. But when we criticize, we right away become like, let me defend myself. How can you tell that about me? How you dare? What? No, not me, you. So listening to criticism is actually very good for you, because you can see where you need to change. You can see how it will make you more productive. And instead of having this defensive attitude that, no, I'm not like that, I'm better. I'll give you an example that I heard online. I heard a video where a guy, I forgot his name, but there's this person who says different wisdom stuff online, and he said like a person can not brush their teeth for 3 days and they won't feel that their breath is smelling, and their nose is right like above your mouth, but they won't feel the smell. Meanwhile, in the whole room, everyone is gonna know that this person didn't brush their teeth. So if you put in a scale to us, we're very good at criticizing others. We're very good at seeing a lot of things about others, but we cannot see it about ourselves. We don't want to change anything. It's comfortable. It's good for us. So when you are actually listening to criticism, it's like you are taking in, and you have to go brush those teeth in order to be more pleasant and become a better you. So I'm going to conclude my video with what would be the results of self-awareness, and there will be many results than I have on my paper, but for now what I was thinking is going to help me to reduce the number of mistakes I'm making. It's going to give me opportunities to learn. It's going to make me calmer. It's going to give me the growth attitude, and then acceptance. I'm going to accept myself as I am, and I'm going to accept others as they are, but working on being better. And it's going to give me confidence because I know what my flaws are. I know I'm working on them, and I know I'm becoming authentic. I'm not going to be anxious that someone is going to think that maybe I have a temper, because I know I have a temper and I have to work. I'm working on it. And then it's going to give me better relationships, because when you're self-aware and you change and you have your values, your beliefs, and you change your personality to be a better you, people will be attracted to you, because everything we see today is basically, most of it is just fake. Everyone is trying to post online how good they are, how beautiful they are, how their life is so good. There is no way they have any problems. And when you see that and you know the people in real life, you know that life is not the way they are presenting it, it kind of gives you this, okay, they are fake. What else fake they are telling me, or they are fake with me then? But when you're actually authentic and you have your confidence, people like you for who you are. We will have that friend that we know that they are just how they are and they tell the truth, and they are like won't change their mind because the whole bunch of people are doing it. So be authentic. It's gonna help you in the long run, and that will make you happier. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you subscribe. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it helped.